Hey everyone. Let's see. Okay, hey everybody, can you hear me? So I hope that no one's watching the show after everyone was yelling about not watching the show. I didn't see it. Did any of you see it? Did you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville? Remember, okay. Hey. Okay, so I wanted to actually do a recap and commentary for Real Housewives of Potomac because I told you guys that I was going to do one and I never did. So this is actually my first live review. I've never done a review live before. So if you guys want to stick it out with me, then we can do it. Go ahead and hit the like button as you come in. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Hi, how are you? Oh, you did watch it? You saw it? Seriously though? Okay, and it was frustrating, you said? Hi there, Chi-Town. Okay, I did not watch it. I did not watch it. I actually watched Real Housewives of Potomac again, and I took a whole bunch of notes so that I could come on and talk to you guys about that. So, Queen's Jaja, good evening. How are you? So I was letting everyone know that this is my first live review. So I do not want to frustrate anybody, but I'm gonna go through this review, see how it works, and if it's good, then I'll do more live reviews. If not, I'll keep them on tape and we'll just do our other thing on live. But Linda said she didn't watch it. Chi-Town said that you have to get your recap through YT or through YouTube because you didn't watch it. So I did not watch. I will probably end up watching it just to keep continuity because the blackout was for today and not for next week. But you know, you want to have some continuity so that I can give you guys a good review for next week. But outside of that, I think we'll see. I haven't seen any other YouTube videos up about it, but the night is still young. There could possibly be. Kiki shared her big secret. Did she really? Because you know what I was thinking? Seriously though, even though this is about Real Housewives of Potomac, I apologize, guys. I am going to get to that. But I was thinking the only thing that happened that caused all this craziness with the Scotts and Wanda and everything was Kiki. It was Kiki coming to the show. And if you remember, that was like that it had a domino effect. She said she was coming on, or they were saying Mel brought Kiki on. How dare she bring Kiki on? And they were supposed to reveal some big secret. So you're saying that the big secret was revealed tonight. And seriously, though, if you do not mind, you don't have to share what the secret was, but was the secret worth all of the chaos? Let me know that. Was the secret worth all of the chaos? Everyone else is saying that they did not watch it. So we have one person who did watch. We have others who are saying that they are waiting for a review on YouTube. It was a pill addiction. Okay. But nothing about nothing about her cousin Tisha, because the way they made it seem was like she came on to tell a big secret about them. So remember, Wanda was like, how dare you go against the family and all this other stuff? Tisha and Marceau did like a whole bunch of interviews where they were kind of, they were really upset with Kiki and saying, Mel doesn't like us. Why would you ever, get on her side kind of thing. So I thought she had a secret about them. Glad Kiki told it. I don't think the secret was that devastating. Agreed. It wasn't passed, she had a struggle. That's what Tisha and Marceau told the Holts. Huh, that doesn't make sense. I just finished watching. So remember what she was saying was they thought that she was doing it in retaliation for the secret that she told or that they told the Holts. So there's still a big secret about the family, but Chi-Town is saying she did not give the big secret about the family. She said that during an interview. So she's never spoken any big secret about the family. Okay, interesting. Hi there, Uppity. So just so you guys know, my feeling, and I've said this before in other reviews, was that all of this was with all of this mess that we've seen happen was retaliation for Kiki coming on as Mel's friend. That's how I understood it. Um, and so that's pretty much it. So who watched or who is watching Housewives of Potomac? Who's watching Real Housewives of Potomac? I did a poll. So it's still a big secret about the family. There's still a big secret about the family. Remember, everything that went down, Wanda bringing on Bernard, Wanda bringing on the other brother onto her Facebook channel, all of that. It all followed Mel asking Kiki to come on and be, a friend of hers. So that's how it all started. They brought it all up. And then if you guys remember, what Kimmy was saying last week was, you do something that you think is a little thing, and then someone else does something that's a little thing. But again, nothing Kiki did was actually revealed. So they literally took it to town just on the thought that she said or did something. I want to know if your cousin been stealing medicine. She been coming over to my house. You are on point. I try to be, girl. Thank you so much. Okay, so one of you said that this is Chi-Town actually, she said that she loves Potomac. So let's jump into Potomac and then we will follow up with Love and Marriage at a different time, okay? If you guys do not mind, this is my first review, so please be gentle with me. This is my first live review. Usually I'm just popping off at the camera, so I will get to interact with you guys. But basically it starts where it left off. If you guys remember, this was at Candace's little dance party thing. Giselle is talking to Candace and she lets Candace know that Chris made her feel uncomfortable. Now, she never said what he did to make her feel uncomfortable. She was specifically asked, did he say anything? Did he do anything? She said no, she just got a feeling. She said in a different episode, I think it was episode 1 or 2, that she has been around many a married man. And so she knows what it feels like when they're with it, when they want her to be with it. And so she's just using her gut instinct here. She didn't say he stared her down, that he was looking at something else, not at her eyes, looking down low or any of those things, staring at the bed. She simply said it made her uncomfortable to be in the room with them. And therefore, she thought she needed to tell Candace. And what she expected is for Candace to apologize for Candace and for, she said for Candace and Chris, because Giselle was on Watch What Happens Live. And Andy asked her, what did you expect to happen after you told Candace that? And she said, I expected her to apologize. I thought she would have gotten home, talked to Chris, and then apologized for that. And I thought Giselle is a little too long in the tooth, and by that I mean age, to have thought that Candace was going to go home and apologize to her or tell Chris and they would call her and apologize. And when I asked you guys in a poll, I said, hey, y'all, how do you feel? Would you want to know if a family friend just felt uncomfortable? Or would you only want to know if, your partner or spouse said something out of pocket or did something out of pocket? And the majority of you said only if something was said or done, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to divorce court because of how you feel. It just isn't going to happen. When you're younger, you might, think maybe I should say something. But as you get older and you've had some experiences under your belt, which I know Giselle has, then she damn sure should have just not said anything. And then later, Karen's going to ask her a series of questions that really brings all this home. So Candace listens to Giselle. She was as polite as can be. Rasma said that Giselle should have revealed her own business. Giselle and Robin, two peas in a pod. They never say anything about their own stuff. And they walk around with the meanest face if anybody says anything about them, okay? Didn't Robin try to attack, who was it, Ashley, when she was asking about those finances that time? Robin likes to use her body weight quite a bit. Lisa said that I can't believe, oh, we're still talking about, Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I'm going to ignore that question. I apologize. We'll get to Love and Marriage Huntsville in another video. I'm going to leave this to Real Housewives of Potomac. But anyway, Candace goes just as polite as can be. She's listening to Jill. Giselle said, okay, got up, got her things, walked out and said, where's Eric? Basically, she's breaking the fourth wall now. We're no longer filming. She breaks the fourth wall and said, listen, you're not going to malign my husband. And if you think this is what you're going to do, you don't want me here. She straight up told him, this is not the place where I'm supposed to be. She said she sure did. She broke the fourth wall and she told him off. She was like, who in the hell? How did all of this start? I know you know something about it. Eric said, I can no more tell or control what they do than I can tell you what to say or control what you do, which I thought was profound because he's like, does anyone tell you how to handle yourself on camera? These are the stories that you all bring to me or that you all bring to the camera and all of you talk about each other. Candace said, that's true, but what I say about everybody is true. And then she basically said, you know what? Keep this fourth wall in here, okay? Because under no circumstances do I want anyone to think that I'm with it. And I have to say, I've watched Candace every season, and this was the first time I actually could stand behind Candace. I was like, you know what? You're right about that. Giselle has every season found some man, one of the husbands, to bring down, okay? And Ashley Darby's husband, you want to be honest, he just decided he didn't want to film anymore because he was tired of it. Now, not to say he didn't bring it on himself because he did make both the men and the women uncomfortable, but she had a point. So I stood behind that 100%. What else happened in that scene? So I'm glad you guys agree with me because honestly, I was like, whoa, this is horrible that she's coming with this. And like I said, what Giselle is doing right now feels like something that's a young woman in their 20s might do, someone who doesn't know better. Because after a while, there really isn't, if you're a woman, this is just my opinion. I don't want to offend anybody. I swear to you, I don't. But as a woman, you know when you walk into situations where someone's making you feel a way, and I don't care if it's at work, at church, wherever, but after a while, you know what to do in order to control those situations. And Giselle did what she was supposed to do. She just handled how she communicated it wrong to me. But anyway, everyone's trying to pretend like Giselle didn't break the fourth wall, okay? So all the girls are on the outside like, where's Candace? Why is Candace talking? Let me see what Leslie Barber had to say. She said, you would think before she went around to the group, Giselle should have talked to Candace first. She had 5 months before the season to do so. She absolutely did. And that's what I mean when I say when she had that conversation with Karen. Karen really brings it on home. And y'all know Karen actually shared that she was an actual victim of assault. I forget which season she said that, but she had shared it with the group. You know, she was like, that's something that's in my past. I had done a lot of therapy and things like that. So when she talked to Karen about it, that really changed a whole lot of things for me. Let's see what else is happening. Hold on one second. Oops. Let's see. Sorry about that, guys. I was looking for my my charger and I don't know what I did with it. Leslie said, I said the exact same thing. That was a proud moment for Candace. It absolutely was a proud moment for Candace. I agree. If you guys could hold on one second. Let me see. Nope, can't do anything about that. Okay, so the girls are on the other side and they're trying to pretend like Candace is not breaking the fourth wall, even though she absolutely is. And they started talking about everything. In the meantime, Giselle's trying to comfort herself. She's eating cupcakes. Anytime Giselle's out of pocket, she likes to eat. But at the same time, she's sitting there and she's kind of nervous. Someone makes a comment. She's talking to Eric. And then Candace screams out, "I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm going to say what I have to say." Then Candace walked herself right on out the door. She doesn't have anything to say to the ladies. As far as she's concerned, they are all dead to her in that moment, okay? And I agreed with every bit of it. Then Mia and Giselle, they decide to make up after Giselle basically makes light of her cancer scare. And just for the record, I don't know, thank God none of these ladies had to deal with any of that. But when people have to test for cancer, it can take a while to figure out what's cancerous, what's not. Even though those lumps were there and they were doing biopsies, it doesn't mean that, cancer couldn't have been in another location. They still have to figure that out. And sometimes it can take weeks. Anybody who's ever been through that, it's very, very stressful. But all of the ladies are attacking Mia. And then Miss Giselle decides to, take her off camera with the whole thing of cupcakes to apologize. She says, "I like you." And I'm not sure why people feel like when Giselle tells them that she likes them, that that's some big deal. You guys should all want to run for the hills anytime Giselle says she likes you. All that means is that she wants to know your business so that she can spread it around, okay? That's it. But while Giselle and Mia are out talking, Robin and Wendy get into it. Robin cannot stand Wendy. She despises the air she breathes. She doesn't mind letting her know it, okay? And they get into it over Mia. A lot of people are getting into it over Mia for whatever reason. But Wendy wants to make it clear that she never called Mia a liar and that she thinks that everyone else was wrong for doing so. And then her silly self gets caught on a hot mic after the producer says, "How are things going with you and Mia?" And she said, "Well, we all know she's a liar." Boom. Well, you just called her a liar too. So good for her. I don't know what's wrong with Wendy, and it looks like she's going to suffer some really big problem. Patricia said that Giselle has been doing this ever since she's been on that show, ever since the day she stepped foot on the show. Now, a lot of people say that Giselle is good TV. She knows how to get things, she knows how to get people ramped up or whatever. And because of that, and Giselle actually made that comment too. She did an interview with Carlos King and she said, "At the end of the day, I'm there to get paid. If you guys want to have it out with me, have it out with me. But I'm going to do what I need to do to get the show going." And this season 7, this show has been on the ball ever since episode 1. They haven't missed a beat. But that's what goes down. Oh, also, Robin makes it a point of saying that she is having some sort of party and she's invited everyone's children except for Wendy's. And I have to say, I kind of feel that she is garbage for even making that comment. But she said, "I don't care what you think. You don't like me. I don't like you. And I'm not inviting your kids or anybody else any place." So that's how that scene ends, okay? But they got into a really ugly back and forth. And I have to say, I don't even want to repeat it. But Robin likes to stand up on people. And it's crazy that she does that because she's one of those people who's a complete church mouse when she is with her husband, who is constantly dismissing her and making her look crazy on camera. I've noticed that every time they come on camera, it's almost like Juan and Robin lives two very different lives. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So the next scene we have Candace, who is at home. She is doing her IVF injections. She calls the doctor to help her. I agree that Wanda's aggressive too, but I agree that Robin is aggressive. I do. Robin does to others what she can't do to Juan. I agree. And anytime anyone brings that up to her, she loses her mess. And it comes out of nowhere. She just goes from 0 to like 100, like in seconds. So, and she's a big woman. So, some of them chicks on that show is small. I don't know it's not a good look for Robin to be bucking up on them ladies like that. If she's gonna buck up on anybody, she should buck up on Giselle because she's done a lot. But Candace is at home. She's doing her IVF injections. She has her doctor on FaceTime. And she's like, "Listen, I don't have anybody here to do this with me," even though we find out that her sister's living with her. She's not there at the time. And she also says that Giselle, who knew what she was going through, had the audacity to bring this on camera and give her all of this stress. She does have an athletic build. I think she said she played basketball or something when she was younger, but she just naturally has a athletic build. So I agree with that. But when she's standing in front of like an Ashley, like when she had went to Ashley's restaurant and she was like pushing up on her, and I think she may have done the same thing to who else did she do that to, you guys? Monique? Was it Monique? She did it to someone else, and I was just like, ooh, the optics here is really bad. She shouldn't do that. But anyway, she basically says, Candace basically says, listen, Giselle added to her stress. It was Monique, okay. Giselle had added to her stress, and she's like, at the end of the day, I am pissed that let my guard down, and I let that green-eyed bandit attack. And in the previous comment, she had made the comment, or in the previous scene, she made the comment, not today, Satan, not today, neck, not today, ankles, which I will use for the rest of my days, okay? Because that was a funny ass scene. Let's see what happens in the next scene. In the next scene, we have Karen and Ray. Now, Karen and Ray have a very interesting relationship to me, okay? They've been married for many years. They got 2 children. Well, actually, just her and Ray have 1 child together, and I think Karen has another, a son, an older son from another relationship. But I do enjoy their relationship. We do need that on a t-shirt, girl. I do enjoy their relationship. So basically, we're going to find out some more information about Karen that we had not seen before. Thank you, Miss Jewel, for becoming a member. Karen and Ray, go get a manicure, okay? Karen said, I'm sorry I missed Ashley's event, but I had 102 fever. I had to make sure it wasn't COVID. And now that the coast is clear, I'm going back out into the public. I'm going to get this manicure. I'm going to drink my champagne. She said that Ray is her national treasure, and she doesn't give a damn what anybody else thinks, okay? And I think I love Karen. Karen's an awesome person to me. She's funny. But we also figure out that Karen is avoiding Charisse at all costs. So we see her, making the comment that she had 102 fever when it came to going to Ashley's event. And then later in the previews, we're going to see that she catches the sniffles when she sees Charisse at another event. So we're going to have to see how that unfolds. But Karen thinks that Ray is a little jealous, or exhibiting a little jealousy now that she has new tatas, okay? So she says, hey, is everything okay? Are you still cool with me having eye candy? And what she's really saying is, Ray allows Karen to go out with men to escort her places. They're her friends, but he still lets her do it. And he said, that's been our agreement. And as long as you can keep it eye candy, we cool. You're not supposed to do anything. So cliffhanger, because now we know that there may be something else going on, okay? Oh, child, this is a good show. So, I can't wait to see how this ends. We know that Karen's going to get into it with Charisse. I'm looking forward to that. Next scene, we have Ashley and her brother. They are going to see a house that Ashley's soon-to-be ex-husband, someone she's legally separated from. First off, Ashley did the exact same thing that she said Mia did. You brought everyone into this idea that you were divorcing your husband, and then you changed it to we're just separating, and then you changed it to I don't know where we're going yet. So, but he still lives in the very house that you live in. So, girl, y'all ain't divorced or broken up. Your husband just don't want to be on the show anymore because he's tired of being everybody's punching bag. That's all that is. Has she filed for divorce yet? I think maybe she did file for something because I think she was on a date with someone, another reality TV star, actually. But anyway, she goes to see this house and she's like, I don't know if it's big enough. The kitchen isn't big enough, things like that. But she ends up talking to the realtor, who is a mutual friend of her and Michael's, mostly Michael's, however. And she's like, well, I think we got some things to do to see if we can buy the house. And the realtor informs her, everything's been taken care of. The loan, all of that good stuff has been approved. All you have to do is let me know which house you want and we can move forward. In confessional, the producer's like, do you think that this is, something you should look into? Because he made you think that there was other things that needed to happen before he could buy you this house. Ashley sips her drink and says, I don't know. And, basically she's not going to give it 1 iota of thought, at least not on camera, anyway, because she knows what the deal is. She already knows the arrangement. And if anybody has been watching the show, y'all know that from the day that girl was, came on and said she was married to Michael, she had let everyone know that she had a prenup, and she let everybody know that as the longer she stayed married, certain things fell out of that prenup. If she had one baby, then certain things fell out of the prenup. And if she had two babies, I think it was no prenup. That's how it ended, right? She got those two babies. She did exactly what she was going to do. So there you have it. Ashley has put herself in the right position, okay? Nothing else to be said there. Let's see what the next one is. The next one is Robin and Juan. What do y'all think of Robin and Juan's relationship? Give me an idea before I start talking about it. Because I think Robin and Juan are, I don't know. I don't know if Juan just doesn't like to be on camera and he doesn't want to talk his business on camera, or if him and Robin are just playing married for the show. You don't think it's real. I don't think it's real either. I got to tell you. And I think that Juan only lets her go so far with conversations. He doesn't do group trips. He doesn't do a whole lot of group anything. I felt like the marriage proposal was forced. There's just a lot of stuff that they do that does not make sense. Roommates, and I'm not even sure if they're roommates, to be honest. I feel like he lives someplace else. Do y'all remember last year when, and I don't even know what the conversation was, but I remember he was like, I'm tired of this shit. She had like a very light conversation with him. He was like, I'm tired of this shit. And then he went to a closet and told them to unmic him. He was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't pretend anymore. And then they didn't say anything else about it. Ooh, somebody got some tea. They said that Juan has been dating a lady named Christine for almost 3 years. Ooh, that's alleged, I'll say that. But child, that sounds more truthful than anything we saw on television the other day. So they end up having this conversation. They are in Robin's new house. I'm going to call it Robin's new house. Only her name is on the deed, okay? He has a condo. Thank you, Shy, because that's exactly what it's giving me. There's things that happen in relationships when men and women are together and they don't give that, okay? I think he loves his children and I think he loves Robin enough to allow her to make some money on this show, but that's about it. Okay? But either way, they have an interesting relationship, which I already shared to y'all. But anyway, Robin has this conversation where she asks about a prenup. And he just basically says, listen, if that's what you want, he said, however, I remember asking you for a prenup, which they ended up getting. And he said, you made a whole big deal out of it. Okay. And she said, I know, but blah, blah, blah. And if you guys remember when she was talking to Sharice, and Sharice was like, did you have a prenup? She was like, yeah, but I don't think that I deserved half. And da-da-da. Girl, not only did he just blow a hole in your story, because he said you lost your mind when you thought that when I asked you for a prenup. Now you want one. Cool. If that's what you want, that's what you want. She tried to bring in this other woman, and he said, Robin, stop. Didn't even let her go anywhere with it, okay? I don't want to hear it. Don't even bring it up because I'm going to blow a hole in your whole entire story. She stops talking pretty much immediately. Then she was like, well, if you're cool with having a prenup, let me know if I can put anything else, if you want me to put anything else in it. He said, you put whatever you want to in it, okay? I don't really care. Then he stands up, taps her on the shoulder and said, okay, Robin, I gotta go. And he giggles and walks off. He also told her that he made more money than him, and she does owe him money because it was her friend that lost his entire fortune, everything that he made as a basketball player. Robin was at home playing housewife, whatever she was doing, and she had a good friend of hers oversee their money and lost all of it. And she hasn't paid that man back. And that's why he said, Robin, please get out of my face, okay? And I don't blame him. And when he walked out of that room, he again started reaching under his shirt for the mic because he unmics himself as soon as he's done with the scene. He doesn't play, okay? Robin sat there looking stupid like she usually does. I don't understand it, but she gets dismissed in scenes with her husband the same way Tisha gets dismissed in her scenes on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all let me know what y'all think in them comments, okay? Because it was shocking to me. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. And that is Wendy. This was just a fluff scene for the most part. Leslie said that Robin and Juan are not in a relationship. He had told Robin that he had made more money than her when they were married, and then he gave Robin $1 million and she got it stolen. Right, she got it stolen. I mean, he had to go into foreclosure and everything. He was pissed for many a years, and because she felt so damn guilty about it, she let him stay in that house after he divorced her. She let him stay in the house. She let him basically do whatever he wanted to do. Okay, because remember, Giselle was like, "Do you still, do with him?" And she was like, "Sometimes." "Do you still sleep in the same bed with him?" So he did all of this stuff. Ciao, bye. That man didn't have any money, and he just needed to stay there, and Robin let him. And in return, he is doing Robin a favor because he's already out of that relationship. That's what it feels like. This is all alleged. My opinion. That's what commentary is. It is your personal opinion, okay? Let's see. Ashley needs to go and see a lawyer because Michael is playing with the finances a lot. I think Ashley is dating another man already. They have had some photos on the carpet. Let's see. And we'll see. We'll see. I think that if Robin does not watch her step, which is why I also feel like she gets so she gets so uptight when she's talking to the other women because she don't want anyone to infer that her and Juan aren't together. That's why she lost it on Wendy last year, because Wendy was like, "Everybody know you're barely in a relationship. What the hell are you talking about?" And then Wendy thought she was making up with Robin when she was jumping and screaming and all that good stuff because Juan had proposed to her. It was all a mess. Anyway, Wendy visits a doctor and she lets her know that her hair is falling out, which I'm sure is devastating. Andy hooked what? Hooked that date up with Ashley too. Ooh, did he really? Did not watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. Honey, none of us watched for the most part. That's why we are doing Real Housewives of Potomac. But she's losing her hair. She's letting the doctor know what's going on. The doctor said, "Listen, when you're under stress, the body no longer needs hair. All of your resources in the body goes to other places to help them recover, and that's why you lose your hair. But we can get that hair back. We're going to give you some medicine. However, you might grow a beard, you might grow a mustache. Just depends on how badly you want that hair." And she seemed upset, but she said, "Okay, no worries." He gets retirement money from the NBA and he is coaching college basketball, so he's not worried. Right. When he told her, "I make more money than you anyway," he meant it. And you know what Robin did? She got in confessional. And when they ran back the tape and was like, "Listen, what's going on in your relationship?" Because we're all clueless. You said you made more money than Juan now, but he's telling you that he makes more money. So what's going on? Oh, you know how men are. Robin is going to, I don't know. I don't know what the oaths are. I don't know what these pacts are that they have amongst each other. But she's playing a dangerous game on reality TV because someone should have blew her information out the water already. So next we have Robin and Mia. They again sit down to rehash this cancer post, and it is annoying. Robin is not transparent. Robin has never been transparent, and she always stands behind Giselle because she knows that Giselle is going to give her, you know, that little protection. Giselle starts all the mess and she gets to stand behind her and be her little cheerleader. But she looks like she's trying to switch it up this year. So who knows? But Robin and Mia, they go to lunch or dinner or whatever. They rehash this cancer post again. And Robin is chastising Mia, like, "Oh, well, we saw the post. You made it one week, and then the next week you didn't give us an update or something like that." It was really wild. But Mia says, "Listen, I'm out of the clear. I don't have cancer. I'm cancer free. I do have some lumps that they need to remove. And then she said, by the way, one is on my ass. And I really felt like she was saying, do you want to look? Because at this point, she's like, why are you harassing me and making, we need the truth from you kind of thing. If y'all really wanted the truth from her before that y'all even started filming, someone should have called her and said, hey girl, are you okay? I'm sorry to hear what's going on, that kind of thing. But you coming on to the camera to bring this girl down, if she didn't have what she said she has, that would have come out eventually. You got to just sometimes, even if people are doing a horrible thing and lying, you just got to let them lie until they, lie themselves out that corner. But for her to be like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this, like she is some sort of, I don't know, she's been deputized when all the crap that Robin has been doing, all the lies she's been saying, please. Last season, Robin owed the IRS $95,000, and she was yelling to Juan. Okay, she was telling Juan. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm pushing the wrong button here. Child, she acts like she's paid it all off and that she is making millions of dollars now with her bedazzled hats. What else does she have other than those silly hats? I've never bought one. But anyway, she tells her about the lumps in her butt. And then for whatever reason, Robin decides to fill Mia in on the conversation about Giselle feeling very uncomfortable around Chris, right? And then Mia adds in her 2 cents. She said, that's funny you should say that because when we were at the spring fling, I could see in my peripheral vision that he was staring at me the whole time we were dancing. And then they do a flashback scene and Chris is not looking at Mia. He's not glancing her way. There is nothing there that says that he's staring at her, not even a little bit. And I understand that she has since apologized to Chris on social media for making that comment, but she wanted to piggyback like she was so fine that he could not keep his eyes off of her. And she made a fool out of herself, and that's unfortunate, okay? And then in the last scene, Giselle visits Karen's house for the first time in ages, she said. She was like, I haven't been to Karen's house in a minute. And she goes in and, basically Karen invited her over there so that she could set the record straight. Robin has 5 hats on her website, and they are always sold out. The math ain't mathin'. There's nothing about those hats that look like $1 million business. I'm sorry. I'm not really sure where that warehouse came from or why a warehouse was even needed. I purchased a hat from Robin and Monique's Eva, or her essential oils collection. It's called Mika Eve. Okay. How do you like the oils? And tell me about this hat too. Did you actually like the hat? I saw the hats that she did on the show where she had everyone wear one. And I'm not sure if I saw anything that I thought was cute. Not to say that you didn't buy something cute, because I'm sure you did. But let me know what you think about that hat. I'm big on supporting Black businesses. Yay. But anyway, Giselle visits Karen, and they talk about what happened at Ashley's dance class. You said that the oil, it's not Mika, it's Mila Eve. I apologize for anyone who's listening. They're amazing. And the hat is not the best. Okay, thank you for sharing. But Karen gets right down to business. She said that Ashley and Mia told me that something that I found disturbing. That's what she says to Giselle. She said, they told me something that I found disturbing, and I wanted to follow up with you about it to see what was going on. And then Giselle shares her story. And while she's telling the story, the show is simultaneously playing Chris's version of events. So both of them share the story that Chris said that he wanted to talk to her. And Giselle says he asked if he could talk to me in my room, and that she thought it was okay because she thought her people were there, the makeup artists and clothing people and whomever. She said she didn't realize that they had left. And Chris says, I asked if I could talk to her, but she invited me to the room. I didn't ask to go to her room. And that's where those two stories differ. And Chris said that he's 99% sure. I think he said 99.9% sure. Like there was only a 0.01% chance that didn't happen the way it did. However, Robin says, or excuse me, not Robin, Giselle says she absolutely didn't. She absolutely would never. And I can't say who I believe here at this point. I have to say that. But Giselle goes on to say that when he got into the room, she noticed right away makeup people aren't there, and she said she felt uncomfortable. She asked him to keep the door open. Chris also says that they both had a conversation like, we don't want anyone, Chris and Giselle are saying the same thing. We don't want anyone to get the wrong impression, even though these two are friends, even though, like Chris said, she talks about his brown, you know what, all of the time, and he basically lets it ride. She's never said, do I make you uncomfortable having this conversation, right? But this is the level of comfort in their relationship. She can talk about, his brown, you know what, in front of his wife. Even his wife said that. She said, Giselle and Chris, and this was in an interview that Candace said this. She said, Giselle and Chris used to have a relationship where they would flirt right in front of me. It was just, what they would do with each other. And I just always saw it as a, my mutual friends. She's a mutual friend to both of us. I know that Chris loves her as a friend. He loves how she supports me as a friend. Never in a million years did I think she would bring this story to me. So I really felt heartbroken for Candace, to be honest, because you just wouldn't want anyone to have that feeling about their husband, and you damn sure don't want them spreading it around. If Giselle was a real friend, she would have brought that to Candace without cameras and without spreading it to the group. But they go through and they tell their stories, okay? And Karen is listening and she says, listen, I'm confused why, if Chris is your friend, why you even thought that, people would have a problem, or why the two of you would have actually thought, let's do this so that others won't think there's a problem, because friends don't stop and say things like that. That's what Karen was giving me. But she was just like, that's how I am, Karen. She's hypersensitive to the perception that people might think that she's, gonna, trying to take someone's man. So Karen basically just asked her, did he touch you? She said no. Did he say or do anything out of the way to you? She says no. Karen says, well, there you go. And then that ended it for me, because again, Karen is a woman who has been assaulted before. So she's like, listen, Giselle, I'm not going to say that your feelings aren't valid. What you feel is absolutely valid. No one can take that from you. But do you think you could have done this differently? Could you have not brought this to the cameras? Could you have not spread this around the group? Now, Giselle did not answer the questions about the camera. She's hypersensitive to it because that's what she did to get Jamal. Child, that sounds about right. Okay. So she was like, could you have done something different? Now, Giselle did not say anything about the camera part, but she did say, I didn't bring it to the group. Karen said, who brought it to the group? She said, Robin. She went, so Robin is running around telling your story? Because again, whether you like it or not, this is a sensitive story and she shouldn't be spreading it around. Karen said, how do you feel about that? And I guess we have to figure out how she feels about it. We didn't get that information. But I do want to say, again, you are spreading a very sensitive story about someone's husband, not just before the camera and in front of the group, but it's already on social media and things like that. And it also makes you look bad at the end of the day. Leslie says that they had been around Chris for 7 years, that they go over Candace's house and that he cooks for them. Right. They have been friends. Like I said, Robin has had a relationship with Chris where she has said some pretty foul things. Candace and Chris have a foul mouth with each other. They talk foul to each other. That's a whole nother video, okay? Because sometimes I'd be sitting there like, oh my God, I can see this going in a completely different direction. The way they curse at each other sometimes. It's really odd to me. But these two people, you have been around them so much because Chris and Candace fight. So if you guys are going over their house, they're not fighting in front of you. You know what I'm saying? They're that kind of friend. You're going to go over their house and you're going to see them completely in their rawest of moments. So what about him standing in that room made you uncomfortable that didn't make you uncomfortable when they're throwing the F word around to each other and all of those things? Because that's when I would have to dip. And I don't know if I would be calling you a good friend. I'm not coming back over there to eat dinner at your house if y'all two don't know how to act. And we know y'all don't know how to act because you don't act right on camera. Okay? So that's how that scene basically ends. But I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. In confessional, Karen is asked if there is a crack in the friendship armor of the Green-Eyed Bandits. She's asked if there's a crack in the armor of the Green-Eyed Bandits, and Karen said, "Yeah, there's a crack in it, and we all see it." Okay, so I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. Lisa says, "Child, I'm so tired of this phone." Lisa says that remember Giselle's look as if her job is done after Gizzard. I'm assuming you're talking about Giselle. Damn. I can't get the message. Okay, after Gizzard talks to Candace about it, remember Giselle's look as if her job is done. Are you talking about at the beginning when she had was sitting on the floor with her? She did. She gave a very satisfied look, and it's crazy. Chi-Town said it's a crack, but it will not crumble because Robin is going to do what it takes to keep it together because she needs a check on that podcast. I'm going to tell you guys, last year, everyone complained about Robin not checking Giselle. So this just kind of feels like something they concocted, to be honest. Because again, even when they start off, like, I don't know if it was the first or second episode, maybe the second episode, when Robin said, "Why did you tell my business to Giselle? Why did you tell my business? Oh, that Juan's name wasn't on the house? Girl." And now we find out, someone in the comments said, "Hey, Juan has his own place. He has a condo someplace else." Why did you, even with that, as your friend, you're just never going to say something like that out loud. "Oh, Robin Dixon, Juan Dixon's name isn't on the house." Girl, how did that get into this conversation? That was all planned. Planned, I tell you. I don't believe it for a second. What else is going on? And then the last scene, it's not the last scene, there was a dual scene, but for the most part, the last scene. Robin met with Candace and her husband, Chris, just to kind of talk about it and say, "Listen, I never agreed with Giselle. And she told me about it the day it happened. We got on the bus or whatever to leave. She told me what happened. And I said to her, I don't believe for a second that Chris would do anything like that." So you already had other people's perspective, a very good friend of yours, tell you, "Don't say this again. Don't say it out loud. Nothing happened. Just be cool." And you still decided to bring it to the camera 5 months later. So Robin is tired and she is glad that Sharice is back. Robin do seem very glad that Sharice is back. So is Sharice Robin's friend, not Giselle's friend? Well, Karen is not glad that Sharice is back, and I cannot wait to see how this all ends. But that was it. I give this episode a 10. I loved it. I thought it was great. What are you guys' thoughts on it? Let me know. And thank you guys so much for sticking this out with me. I appreciate it. This is my first live review. Did I do okay? Did I do badly? I'm getting a hang of it, to be honest. Chi-Town said, you give it a 9. Okay. It's still up there. I enjoyed it. Okay, I really appreciate you guys. So yeah, the end. So I might be able to do some more of these on camera with y'all so we can talk about it while it is going. Did a great job. Thank you for building me up because I tried. So I was actually taking notes for this show while the other show was on because I said I'm going to be serious about this and I'm going to do my review like I promised you guys, and then we'll have another review for tomorrow. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. So how do you feel about Giselle. Like, give me in the comments, one, if you would have told your friend that their husband made them uncomfortable based on what Giselle has told us, or two, that you would have just, let it ride because you didn't know how to prove it to your friend. You know what I'm saying? Let me know, one or two, if you guys would have, if you would have told. Denise said, hey, I'm late, but I promise to rewatch the review and to make my rounds and support the YouTubers. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate you for that. Let it go because nothing happened. I'll say, I think that she should have had more information if something was really went down. The way she's explaining it makes no sense. And the other thing that she said was that she said, everyone is making it into a bigger deal. I just said I was uncomfortable. Your being uncomfortable is not enough. That's the problem. You needed to come to her with some real receipts. This man sat and told you a story with a door open. And I think he was actually complaining about something she did on the reunion. She was like, he said, can I talk to you? Because I don't like what you said about, I think it was the song, right? She had just debuted her song on the show. And I think she made it seem like it wasn't a good song. And he was like, I need to talk to you about that. So yeah, most of you guys feel the same way with the twos. Okay, y'all. So it is 9:50. Y'all have some Halloween plans. Deborah said that you did a great job. It's nice seeing YouTubers, bloggers on camera. It's like watching a TV show. I agree. When I first started doing this, I was like, I just wanted to feel what it was like. But I do prefer to watch people on camera as opposed to, the other way around. That's why when I do my other reviews, I always put pictures and things up to stimulate your mind while you're listening. But I'll see if I can do both. This is much easier than recording and uploading. I can tell you that. Recording and uploading is a job. It is a job. Putting the pictures in, then you have to wait. YouTube can like shut down and then all of a sudden you can't get your video up. It's a problem. But anyway, thank you guys. She brought it up months later for what? For no other reason except to put doubt in that relationship at the end of the day. But she does this. This is her MO. She does it all the time. And it's kind of wild that she has gotten away with it. But we'll see. Chi-Town said, no trick-or-treating for this year for your family. You just built a new home. Congratulations to you on building a new home. That is awesome. And you are still getting things together. Congratulations. It's always wonderful to hear that people have gotten a new home. So happy to hear that. Leslie actually said I would have either told my friend immediately, and if nothing happened, I wouldn't have mentioned it. I agree. Leslie, I agree that if it was going to be told, it should have been done immediately so that you can kind of just wipe it out. Like, listen, you could even make it kind of, light of it. Just say, hey, I don't know if I'm making too much of this, but when we were in the room earlier, I just had a feeling. But either way, it's going to change the dynamics of your relationship. I hope people know that. Telling that kind of story to your friend will always change the dynamics of your relationship. You're always going to be conscious of it. So doesn't matter. All right, guys. I think I'm going to sign off now and check out what else is going on in these YouTube streets. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for sticking around and listening to the review and for supporting my channel as always, okay? All right. Bye-bye.